Hello and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. My name is Abhishek Mahajan. Let's start with the top story. President Draupadi Murmu paid floral tributes to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose at Rashtrapati Bhavan Friday morning. The occasion marks Netaji's birth anniversary observed nationwide as Parakram Divas. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated laid foundation stones and flagged off multiple development projects in Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. The projects flagged off by PM Modi in Kerala on Friday cover rail connectivity, urban livelihoods, science and innovation. The initiatives highlight their government's focus on inclusive growth and technology-driven development. Further, during the visit, Prime Minister also launched the PM Swanidhi credit card to strengthen urban livelihoods in Kerala. PM Swanidhi loans were disbursed to 1 lakh beneficiaries, including street vendors from Kerala. PM Swanidhi scheme enables first-time access to formal credit for a large number of beneficiaries and played a key role in poverty alleviation and livelihood security among urban informal workers. While addressing the event, PM Modi highlighted the boost to rail connectivity in Kerala and major investments in science and innovation and healthcare. PM Modi also emphasized that the government is making significant investments in healthcare, pointing at the inauguration of CSIR Innovation Hub in Kerala and the launch of Radio Surgery Centre. Turning attention to India's progressive pitch at the World Economic Forum at Davos, the country pushed hard for more renewable energy, guided by the idea of one Earth, one family, one future. This vision underlines India's call for joint action on green growth. India also underlined solutions to tackle global challenges. Davos 2026 boosted India's image as a leader in energy shifts and investment. As deals flow in, the country steps up its role in a world seeking balance. The World Economic Forum concluded on Friday in the Swiss ski resort of Davos, with its leadership underscoring the importance of dialogue amid a turbulent global landscape. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos, IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva said India is among the countries with a comparative advantage in artificial intelligence. The IMF Managing Director further noted that India stands out among emerging economies due to its long-standing investment in information technology. With Republic Day approaching, Air Commodore Manish Sabharwal announced on Friday that the S-400 air defense system credited with downing a Pakistani asset at the world's longest range will feature for the first time on the Department of Military Affairs tableau. The Agricultural and Processed Food Product Export Development Authority under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry is participating in Gulf Food 2026 in Dubai from January 26 to 30th. India is the partner country at Gulf Food 2026 for the first time. In business, Indian equity indices ended on a weak note on Friday. At close, Sensex was down 769.67 points to close at 81,537.70. While Nifty was down 241.25 points to close at 25,048.65. The Indian rupee ended at record low at 91.96 per US dollar on Friday versus Thursday's close of 91.62. Global oil prices climbed as escalating West Asia tensions and Russian refinery attacks offset ample supply concerns, with Brent nearing $78 per barrel. Global gold prices surged to a fresh all-time high above $4,960 per ounce on Friday, driven by persistent geopolitical risk, a weaker dollar and strong safe haven demand. Global silver prices soared to a new all-time high, approaching $99 per ounce on Friday. US stocks rose for a second straight day as eased Greenland tariff fears lifted sentiment, with the Dow gaining 0.63% to for 9,384, S&P 500 up 0.55% and Nasdaq advancing 0.91%. Asian markets extended their recovery on Friday, with Japan's Nikkei 225 rising 0.34% to 53,869 amid Bank of Japan rate stability, while Hang Seng gained 0.33% and Kospi climbed 0.58%. European stocks advance as reduced Greenland tariff concerns boosted sentiment, with DAX climbing 1.20% to 24,856, CAC 40 up 0.99% and FTSE 100 gaining 0.12%. Cryptocurrency markets traded mixed on Friday, with Bitcoin steady around $89,500 after dipping below $90,000 amid fading tariff relief and profit-taking pressures. Ukrainian, US and Russian officials will hold security talks in the United Arab Emirates on Friday, following a meeting of top US negotiators with Russian President Putin in Moscow on a US drafted plan to end the Ukraine conflict. Diplomatic efforts to end Europe's conflict have intensified, with trilateral talks set for Abu Dhabi on Friday, yet Moscow and Kiev remain deeply divided over territory in any post-conflict settlement. US negotiators led by Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and accompanied by Jared Kushner met Russian President Vladimir Putin in Kremlin late Thursday, extending into the early hours of Friday to discuss Ukraine peace prospects. Kremlin diplomatic advisor Yuri Ushakov told reporters that discussions had been useful in every respect. Witkoff and the US team are next flying to Abu Dhabi, where talks are expected to continue in a trilateral format. The Kremlin on Friday repeated its demand that Kiev must withdraw its forces from the eastern Donbas region for the conflict to end, showing it had not dropped its demands. Showing optimism, US President Donald Trump said both Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky would like to make a deal to end the conflict. US President Donald Trump withdrew an invitation for Canada to join his Board of Peace initiative aimed at resolving global conflicts. Canadian PM Mark Carney rebuked President Trump's Davos assertion that Canada lives because of the US, saying that Canada doesn't live because of US, it thrives because of Canadians. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump said that a US naval armada was heading towards the Gulf, maintaining pressure on Iran. Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Ground Forces Commander General Mohammad Pakpour warned Israel and US to avoid miscalculations, urging them to learn from the 12-day imposed war to prevent a more painful fate. A drone attack triggered a fire at an oil depot in Russia's Penza region early Friday. Russia's defense ministry said air defenses downed at least 12 Ukrainian drones overnight, one over Penza. The United Nations Human Rights Council is set to convene a special session in Geneva on Friday to discuss the worsening human rights situation in Iran, following a request by Iceland, Germany, North Macedonia, Moldova and the UK. European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen announced plans for a major increase in the European Union's investments in Greenland to support the island's economy, infrastructure and security. Speaking at a press conference, von der Leyen said EU nations have collectively underinvested in the Arctic and in its security. Meanwhile, Trump emphasized that the United States would work with NATO on Greenland's security. Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen held a press conference in Nuuk on Thursday, declaring that sovereignty and territorial integrity are red lines that must not be crossed. US House of Representatives Republicans narrowly defeated a resolution on Thursday that would have barred President Donald Trump from further military action in Venezuela without the authorization of Congress. Trump on Thursday said US oil companies will soon start drilling for oil in Venezuela, even as companies express concern about the viability of quickly returning to the country. TikTok's owner ByteDance has finalized a deal to establish a majority American-owned joint venture. The move seeks to avert a US ban on the app used by over 200 million Americans. The United States has officially withdrawn from the World Health Organization, ending its membership after months of warnings that the move could harm public health at home and globally. Colombia announced on Thursday it will suspend electricity sales to Ecuador and impose a 30% tariff on 20 products, intensifying a dispute over trade and drug trafficking cooperation. Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, Japan's first woman premier, dissolved parliament on Friday ahead of a February 8 snap election, banking on a cabinet's strong poll numbers. Vietnam's top leader To Lam has been unanimously elected as head of the ruling Communist Party for another 5-year term, cementing his hold on the country's most powerful political post. At least 67 people died in a fire that gutted Karachi's 3-story Gul Plaza on 17th of this month, with their cause still under investigation. Bangladesh's election campaign for the 13 national parliamentary polls gained momentum on Friday, with major political parties holding rallies and outlining policy priorities across the country. Political activity has intensified nationwide ahead of 12th of February polls. Germany arms maker Rheinmetall is considering further acquisitions in the naval sector as defense spending rises. All right, we are slipping into a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching Express News on DD India.
One of India's newest states, one of India's oldest lands. Jharkhand is a hidden Welcome to Jharkhand, the land of
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. India Met Department issued heavy rain alert across northern India as an active western disturbance triggers rain, thunderstorms and hailstorm activity in several states. Weather conditions in Himachal Pradesh changed sharply, with a western disturbance, light to moderate rain and strong winds hit Shimla overnight, with snowfall and hailstorm activity reported in higher areas. Fresh heavy snowfall hits Dras in Ladakh and Bhadrawa in Jammu and Kashmir, affecting daily life. Authorities warn of slippery roads and advise caution in affected areas. Heavy snowfall blanketed Himachal Pradesh's Manali, barring vehicles under thick snow. Authorities are working to clear roads and restore normal traffic. Fresh snowfall hit Bandipora in Kashmir, disrupting normal life and traffic. Several roads have been closed as authorities work to clear snow and ensure safety. Heavy snowfall in Srinagar disturbed flight operations, leading to long delays. Airport authorities are working to clear runways as passengers face extended waiting times. Fairly widespread light to moderate rainfall has occurred over Punjab, with scattered rain across Haryana, Chandigarh and Delhi. Light rain and drizzles were reported from parts of Delhi and the National Capital Region on Friday amid persistent winter conditions. Temperatures in Delhi are expected to further drop over the next 24 hours. Iraqis enjoy snowfall in the country's second city of Mosul in northern Nineveh province. Residents took to the streets to enjoy the unusual cold weather, with photos showing the city covered in a white blanket. 6 people went missing after a massive landslide hit a busy campground at Mount Montegre on New Zealand's North Island following heavy rainfall. No fatalities have been reported so far. Cyclone Harry, a powerful Mediterranean storm, has caused devastating damage across southern Italy as of late January 2026, with current estimates now reaching at least €2 billion. Heavy snowfall has blanketed Afghanistan's capital Kabul, disrupting daily life and slowing traffic across the city. Cars and motorbikes moved cautiously on snow-covered roads as the winter storm continued. Flash floods swept mud and debris through streets in Athens after a powerful storm battered parts of Greece. Winds crossed 100 kilometers per hour, forcing schools closures in Athens and other regions. Flooding continues in western France as the Leitha River overflows in Quimperlé, submerging low-lying areas. More than 10 residents have been evacuated, and authorities warn water levels may remain high in the coming days. Drone footage reveals thick ice build up along the shores of Lake Michigan. A powerful winter storm is set to impact over 160 million Americans as a stretched polar vortex brings Arctic air, heavy snowfall and freezing rain across large parts of the U.S. Amid power cuts and sub-zero winds, Orissa residents found fleeting joy at the frozen seafront, skating, feeding gulls and admiring winter's beauty together. Robots marched through Davos during the World Economic Forum, underscoring how technology and innovation are increasingly shaping global diplomacy and international dialogue efforts. Kiev Zoo has turned to wood-burning stoves to keep animals warm as power and heating outage continues amid the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Zoo enclosures housing animals such as gorillas, elephants, snakes and chameleons are being heated using traditional stoves to maintain safe temperatures during winter conditions. Sri Lanka marked Parakram Divas to honour legacy of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, with members of the Indian diaspora and Deputy High Commissioner paying floral tributes. The Indian Air Force's renowned Sarang helicopter display team is set to enthrall audiences at the Singapore Air Show 2026, scheduled from 3rd to 8th February. The annual Saraswati Puja celebrations were held at Dhaka University's Jagannath Hall, with worship conducted at 76 pavilions set up by students from various departments. Thousands of devotees thronged the Triveni Sangam Ghat in Prayagraj to take a holy dip on the auspicious occasion of Basant Panchami. Basant Panchami marks the arrival of spring, with devotees offering prayers to Goddess Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge and wisdom, in homes, temples and educational institutions. The national capital witnessed heightened security and elaborated traffic arrangements on Friday as the full dress rehearsal for 77th Republic Day celebrations was held along the Kartavya Path and adjoining areas. In entertainment news, Japanese fashion house IST Miyake showcased its menswear fall collection at Paris Men's Fashion Week, introducing formless formal designs featuring oversized silhouettes, promoting a gender-neutral approach to modern menswear. American horror film Sinners leads the 2026 Oscar nominations with a record 16 nods. The film has notched up nominations for Best Picture, Best Director for Ryan Coogler and Best Actor, emerging as the frontrunner for the awards. Paris fashion shows are increasingly shifting to raw, minimalist venues, offering greater creative freedom and lower cost. Under construction spaces are emerging as popular runways for designers like Dries Van Noten. Cortec Research showcases Indian craftsmanship at Paris Fashion Week. The label blends traditional prints and embroidery with modern menswear design. American actress Sydney Sweeney will star in and produce The Custom of the Country, based on Edith Wharton's novel. The film will be directed by Josie Rourke. Singer Harry Styles announces 2026 global tour with extended residencies instead of single shows. Highlights include a 30-night run at New York's Madison Square Garden. K-pop band BTS has added extra tour dates in North America, Tampa on 28th of April and Stanford on the 19th of May. The upcoming album Are You Wrong pre-orders have crossed 4 million. Sunny Deol, Ahan Shetty, Varun Dhawan and Diljit Dosanjh's Starter Border 2 released on Friday. The film chronicles the courage of young Indian soldiers who rise to defend the nation during 1971 Indo-Pak War. Bollywood star Salman Khan shared the teaser of a patriotic song Matrabhumi from his upcoming film Battle of Galwan. The song will release on January 24th. The third Red Lorry Film Festival is all set to be held in Maharashtra's Mumbai from 13th to 15th of March. Over 120 films will be screened with a special focus on Marathi cinema at the festival. In sports updates, India has won the toss and opted to bowl as it aims for a 2-0 lead against New Zealand in the second T20I at Raipur. After a heavy defeat in the opener, New Zealand must fire with the ball. Captain Mitchell Santner faces a tough task against India's red-hot batters. Akshar Patel has been ruled out owing to injury. Bumrah too rested for the second T20I against New Zealand in Bradford. World number 1 Carlos Alcaraz cruised into the 4th round of the Australian Open. He beat Corentin Moutet in straight sets. Top seed Arina Sabalenka bested Anastasia Potapova 7-6, 7-6 to reach the 4th round of the Australian Open. The defending champion saved a tense opening set after Potapova erased 3-set points. Two-time defending champion Yannick Sinner cruised past Australian wildcard James Duckworth 6-1, 6-4, 6-2 to move into the 3rd round. Naomi Osaka fought through 3 sets to defeat Sorana Kirstia on the Margaret Court Arena. The former champion will next face Australian qualifier Madison Inglis. Taylor Fritz and Casper Ruud both advanced in straight sets at the Australian Open. Fritz will meet Stanislas Wawrinka, while Ruud has set up a clash with Marin Cilic. FIFA President Gianni Infantino defended ticket pricing for 2026 World Cup, revealing a record 500 million ticket requests despite fan backlash over high cost and resale prices. Casemiro will leave Manchester United at the end of the season after the club decided not to activate his contract extension. Jadon Sancho scored his first goal for Aston Villa as beat Fenerbahce 1-0 in Istanbul to secure a Europa League last 16th place with a game to spare. Mohamed Diomande's first-half strike earned Rangers a 1-0 win over Ludogorets, giving them their first Europa League victory of the season. Barcelona have announced presidential elections will be held on March 15 with current President Joan Laporta set to run against 4 declared challengers. Barcelona midfielder Pedri Gonzalez is set for a month out with a hamstring injury. The 23-year-old Spain international will miss Barcelona's final European League phase. And Sophie Devine's all-round display propelled Gujarat Giants to 45-run victory over UP Warriors in the Women's Premier League on Thursday, snapping a 3-match losing streak. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.